I'm always playing the part. Ever since this stupid movie started, the part never really left me. You're probably confused. Oh well, all the people I would confide in aren't exactly around. If you have a few minutes, I can tell you the story that'll drive you crazy. Trust me, I mean that. It all started because I was desperate, see? I'm an actor, or at least I used to be. I haven't had a role in over 2 years. I had a part in one of those big movies. It was filmed for nothing and grossed way too much to be healthy for the average person to have at one time. I had been writing on that, but my addictions to fast cars, hot women, and cocaine wasn't exactly feeding the piggy bank. It started to dry up faster than it took me to ruin an intern's life on a set. And so, desperation set in. It started with the average frantic thoughts. What if my wife leaves me? What if my cars get repoed? What if they take away my house? What if I run out of coke? Yeah, those may or may not have been in order of importance. So I scrambled, reaching towards the bottom of the barrel for a part to feed the pig. You would think that I'd find some romantic comedy or a buddy cop movie to satisfy me. But no, I found a slasher flick. Yay me. Fake blood that makes you itch and makeup applied by kids that were just practicing on mannequin heads 2 months ago. But something was different about this one. Something just didn't sit right. It's hard to explain. But I brushed that away. I signed for the role of the slasher himself, a beastly fellow that was basically the offspring of one Mr. Myers and Mrs. Voorhees. His story was stupid and convoluted, just like every slasher flick ever. Something about this abusive father and absent mother, some alcoholic bullies, that sort of thing. He was the victim of a previous slasher, which left him permanently scarred, both mentally and physically. The mental scarring is simple enough to understand. I mean, he witnessed almost his entire town die. That would drive anyone crazy. The physical scarring was a ripped out left eye, 2 gashes on the right cheek that formed an X, and a missing nose. Yes, it's a ghastly picture. Yes, my beautiful face has been altered with makeup and CG to make it. Yes, I was horrified. Yes, I was that desperate. No, apparently, I'm not above that kind of work. It would take almost 2 hours in the dressing room to pull off this look, mind you. Half the time I was sleeping, and most of the time you only saw the slasher's face for a millisecond. Oh, it was a grueling process. After about 3 weeks of filming, we finally filmed the first murder scene. Up to this point, it was all day scenes that set the backstory. And the director didn't think of shooting the night scenes when things were getting dark. It was a simple enough scene to pull off. The sorority girls, visiting back from college, would see me on the side of the road, looking like a homeless man. They would pull over and ask if I was okay, and then I would follow her home and murder her family off-screen, while setting a trap for her to stumble upon the bodies. If that sounds overly familiar, don't worry, I know. The trap was a bit grisly, mind you. She had to walk into her parents' room and then see the dog lying in the pool of blood. She would run out of the room, but her father was now hanging upside down at the entrance of it. She would scream and back away towards the window where I was watching as the body of her mother fell from the closet. I would jump through the window, and at that time, I would chase her throughout the house until I cornered her in the bathroom and did the deed. Yes, I did get shivers. Luckily, the shooting process allowed the scene to be broken up in a variety of camera angles, so you never truly got the entire scene all together until it was edited, so no goosebumps. The thing that shook me was watching the trap play out. You feel a sense of entitlement, knowing that you're playing the guy that put this all together. Truth be told, I wanted more. Screening continued, more murder scenes were shot, and the movie was finished. But my yearning grew more and more throughout the course. I started small, mind you. Rabbits, stray cats, and a dog here and there. I never dreamed of actually hurting anyone. Well, yes, I dreamt of hurting people. But those were just dreams, right? I'm not crazy. No. Not yet. About 3 rabbits, 2 dogs, and 15 cats. Yeah, my town had a cat issue. Later, I found myself at peace. What a marvelous thing I had done. I vented my anger, I got my gratification, and I helped my town with the cat problem. Things were going swimmingly, and the revenue for my money turned out to be smashing. It grossed something like $2 million, and and I had a free ride for at least a year with me playing the lead role. Then they contacted me for a sequel. Oh yes, a sequel. Slasher Flick 2, to go along with Slasher Flick 1. It was brilliant. I jumped at the chance to play my role again, and I felt at home in the makeup and the prop clothes the character wore. It would creep up on stage directors and crew and scare them for a little bit of fun in between the scenes. And I watched the traps roll out and the bodies of the actors that played the part flop down. But something was amiss with the fifth murder scene. I was supposed to chase a young man through a gym until he fell down the stairs of the locker room. Now, usually in cinema, scenes like this would have been shot with either padding or dummies, but the director wanted none of that. The plan was to make him fall slowly down the stairs and then speed it up in the editing room. It didn't work that way. As I gave chase, he truly fell down the stairs and snapped his neck on the railing. He died instantly, the doctors say, and the sequel was cancelled due to fees needed to pay off his family for the incident. But watching the body fall, going plop, plop, bang down the stairs, it introduced a whole new concept to me, and gave me the urge once again. I had the feeling that cats and dogs wouldn't do it for me anymore. The first headline had read, "Killer recreates scene from Grisly Movie." It made me laugh. It was only one column behind a bunch of ads for cars that you could never afford and appliances that you would get one use out of. But it was still there. What I did was recreate the first murder from the slasher flick that I starred in. Right down to the letter. It was brilliant. The shrieks were real. There was no pause for an angle change. There were no floodlights. There was no fat man sitting in the director's chair. There was just me, 4 dead bodies, and was supposed to be a prop machete. You'd be surprised how easy it is, the moment where a living being becomes an inanimate object. It's empowering. It's addicting. It's fun. I never stopped either. I would recreate the scenes from the movies, and then I would make my own. I would play the role until the day I died. With my machete and my makeup, I would stalk and shank and cause shivers. Every state across the United States I've been to and killed in. But you probably all knew this. I mean, you were the only one that followed me. The only one that had almost stopped me. The only kill that ever got away. Now you're tied up. Now you're tired, bloody, beaten, and stabbed. And unless my watch is wrong, you've probably been dead for over 20 minutes now.